Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I have a journal to share with you. I've been posting bits of it on my Facebook page. It is a little golden book of hymns. And I thought the title itself and the hymns lent itself very well to a prayer journal. So that is what this is. This is a prayer journal. And I took ideas from Gail Agostinelli. She's the one that came up with this, I do believe. It's a great idea. She uses fabric for her spine. I prefer sticky back canvas. So that is what I used. And I've stamped it just randomly with different stamps. More juvenile, childish perhaps, or childlike. Because this journal, I think, says a lot about children and their innocence and their youth, and I think we need to remember our childhood, our innocence. Well, what we used to think of as innocence anyway. Okay, here we go. So it's an eyelet and a hitch post closure with seam binding. And we have 2 pony beads, star shape, that I thought the color went really well with the cover. You just push it down, excuse me, and it pops right off. Okay, so here we go. Now, I have to explain a few things as I go through. I do cross stitch, but not as much of late. So, when I went yard sailing on Saturday, and this lady was pretty much giving away a bag full of little bits and pieces of cross stitch that she had done, I grabbed it, had to have it. So I've made a tuck spot on the front cover here with this one. Isn't that beautiful? And then I've frayed the edges a bit. And then behind it, we have a recipe card to journal on, and a journal card. These images, most all of the botanicals in this journal are from 2 books that I got at a different yard sale. Big books, beautiful images of botanicals, and she was, again, pretty much giving them away at $1 each. So you will see a lot of botanicals in this journal and upcoming journals because they are so pretty. And then Peace Be With You and some crochet trim, and that's been tea-dyed. Here, all of the pages of the book are in here. I cannot vouch for their going in order. I was really flustered as I was putting this together, and so I'm not sure what happened, but it's together. So here we go. And I folded it in as Gail does, and it really does make it so that nothing is too poofy and out as I say that and look at all the lace. But anyway, okay. This is Edith Holden, and on the back we have a half doily tuck. And here's a tag that I've made with some really funky trim that I got from my mother. Isn't that interesting? And I backed onto cardstock. This image from the book that I like, it's so cute. Little drops of water, little grains of sand, make the mighty ocean and the pleasant land. Little deeds of kindness, little words of love, help to make earth happy, like the heaven above. I like that. And then throughout the journal, I also have journal cards that you can color that say very good things that everybody should know. You can color. And Father in Heaven, I've stamped out. A little bit of stamping. Old book page. And on the back, I've glued down a piece of note paper with a cute little bunny. Here's a tag page that I was inspired by Teresa the Friends, Forever Young from Tsunami Rose. Lace trim throughout. It all came from an estate sale. I've used almost all of this lace that I had. It's a little bit left, but it's very pretty. I like it. More stamping. Here is just some brown paper I had in my stash. I don't know where I got it. Don't know where it came from. If it was a bag, if it was just wrapping material, packaging material, I don't know. But you can write on it. Okay, this is a tag page which I decided to glue down on two sides onto the music paper to make a pocket. So we have this image and line paper on the back. Pattern paper that I've turned up to make a pocket. Little lace trim. And we have this tag with my new stamp. Not cool. And then I've cut out a little image to look like a postage stamp. And then this journal card with some lace trim with some trim from my mother. Isn't that pretty? Glittery, shiny. And you can journal on the back. Journal prompt paper. Another page from the book. Okay, let me explain. I have a lot of explaining to do with this book, don't I? Okay, sorry. Sing Praises. My daughter, very kindly, I picked out some scriptures and some quotes that I wanted, and I asked if she could make me journal cards, scripture cards. And she very nicely said yes, and all she did was the quote or the scripture, and then I did the stamping. And I think it worked really well. Let me know what you think. Philippians, turn your worries into prayers. Wise counsel right there. People worry too much, I think. I'm included in that. Okay, here we have another one. Get on your knees and ask for the blessings of the Lord. Then stand on your feet and do what you are asked to do. I like that, because sometimes we ask Heavenly Father for so many things, but then when He gives us the answer, it's not quite what we had expected. So we don't make an effort like we should. I figure He probably knows more than we do. Ledger paper, a glassine bag with this tag that I backed with Tim Holtz paper, and an altered playing card with some pattern paper, a couple of book pages, and this bling that my daughter found for me, and lined cardstock on the back. Believe. A quote from Tsunami Rose. More lace trim. This image and the play I got from my friend Rachel. A couple of flowers I punched. And these tags I got at a yard sale. And I decoupaged a napkin on it and stamped the word pray. And then we have another scripture card. Vintage map page, and this image comes from a really old poetry book. Thank you. This is from Tsunami Rose, and then just a little bit of lace trim, and it's a pocket. The journal card is made out of some embossed paper, and as you know, I can't write on embossed paper, so I backed it with some graphic 45 paper for journaling. Charity never faileth. Beautiful stationery. Center of the signature, we have a pocket with the children's book page. And in the pocket, and we have this journal card. Love one another. A vintage style postcard. And we have this journal card, just a bit of lace for the tab. And then the quote is, "Elegance is beauty that never fades." I got that from Sue Miller. Thank you, Sue. And stamped index card on the back for journaling. This image also came from my friend Rachel. And then I punched out 2 little butterflies. Another tag that's been napkin decoupaged on it and the sentiment joy. And then another scripture. Another Tsunami Rose quote. A stamp. And to highlight it, I just went with a little piece of rickrack around it, so it stood out a little better. Didn't get lost on the big page. The other half of the glassine envelope, I've done some crochet trim. Goodness, excuse me. And I got inspiration for this from Paula Lemon. She was doing a flip through of one of her more recent journals, and one of the journal cards she brought out just had a letter on it. That was it, if I remember right. Anyway, I thought, you know, I have got so many alphabet stickers that I do not know what to do with. So I took a scrap of Tim Holtz paper, ripped it up, a Tim Holtz sticker, and then F for Faith. There you go. A use for stickers. Got your paper. Page. Journal prompt. Another pocket with some lace trim. Another journal card to color. Okay, I am getting one today, by the way, but I do not have a sewing machine at this time. So I tried sewing around it with a blanket stitch, and well, it worked kind of good. You just can't pull really hard on the stitches, or else, you know, it rips. So they all have kind of a loop appearance. Oh, there it is, and lined paper on the back for journaling. The other half of that tag page into a pocket for this beautiful journal paper and lined on the back. More brown paper. The other half of the tag page, Best Day of My Life from Tsunami Rose. Another notepad, paper, a book page, Edith Holden, another page of the book. Excuse me. Signature number 2. Beautiful images. Another tag page. This one I did not do down. Notebook page. Here we have a flip out. And then tucked behind we have this journal card that I got off Pinterest, I do believe. And upside down. And this journal card, scripture card, and rejoice in hope of the glory of God. I like that one. It's the old 1950s book about how to decorate your house. Tsunami Rose Big Flower. And I've done 2 index cards that I punched the edges for journal cards. Another page of the book. Belly band with some eyelet lace and Tsunami Rose. Edith Holden. Here's another image from that same poetry book. Another pocket. This one has a journal booklet with this journal card that I've made. And this journal card, little booklet. Glassine envelope. Journaling cards. This one is from Tsunami Rose. That's your paper. Center of the second signature, I've made another pocket out of some torn music paper with some lace trim. We have 2 big journal cards or photo cards, photo mats, whichever you prefer to use them for. You could use them for both. Journal on one side, photo on the other. Tsunami Rose ephemera is a tuck spot for the recipe card. Lined on both sides for journaling. And then I've done lines on the back. And then we have this journal card. And on the back, I've done some fun lines for journaling. Another scripture card with a quote. I will not be shaken. I like that. And a quote card. This is my favorite, by the way. You are not unwanted, you are chosen. You are not unloved, you were to die for. You are not alone, you are his. And 2 heart punches. I really like that one. We are definitely not unloved. There's nothing else I tell anybody in this world. It is that you are loved. Glassine envelope, or back with some more crochet trim. And this time we have an R for rejoice. Edith Holden. A belly band. I think this is from Mellow Mama. I think. Etsy's shop that she has. Let me get that right. Yeah, I think it was Mellow Mama. Anyway, I think it's wonderful. I really like it. And then behind it, we have tucked this journal card from Artie Mays with a Tsunami Rose flower. Lots of journaling space. Okay, here's a Tsunami Rose tub with this little tag. And I decided to try something new. And I Mod Podged this whole... I Mod Podged underneath, not on top. This whole piece of fabric down onto the cardstock tag. And put an eyelet in it and some rickrack trim. I love that fabric. Isn't that so pretty? And it's right down in there. More book page. A little book page. Tsunami Rose flower with this little ticket or tag. And this tag. Tsunami Rose quote. Robert Louis Stevenson. Another flip out. And behind it, we have this journal card from Artie Mays. The earth has music for those who listen. Shakespeare. And then I backed it with ledger paper for journaling. And then another upside down scripture card. And have a hope towards God. Hope. It's a very nice word. Whole book page. Another scripture card. Rejoice in hope, be patient in tribulation, be constant in prayer. Patient in tribulation. I'm working on that part. And then I stand. A quote. Note to self. Today with God's help, no matter what I face, I will let faith and trust be my first response instead of worry or fear. And then I stamped it. Music paper, tag page, book page, and the last signature, number 3, book page, pocket. It's a tag that I've made with Tim Holtz. What do you call it? Stencil. Goodness. Tim Holtz stencil, wildflowers, and then his wildflower die cuts in front. And journal in the back. Another scripture card. O woman, great is thy faith. Be it unto thee even as thou wilt. Great faith. That'd be awesome. A paper bag with some images that I've cut out. A piece of scrap paper. A tag with some of that beautiful fabric on it. In the bag. And behind the bag we have some vintage trim and a Himalaya tag. Old book page, stamping, old book page, Tsunami Rose. This is some tea-dyed note paper for extra journaling. Edith Holden. Another half a doily tuck. And an altered envelope. Just a regular envelope. I've embossed it, added some lace, and stamped. And there's nothing on the inside. For you to put your precious memories in. Another page. That's your paper. Glassine bag. We have this one. And another altered playing card. I love this vintage trim. Isn't that so pretty? We have some vintage gardening book page. some lace trim. It says here, my prayer. Brown paper bag, or paper of some sort. Here's a flip up with a to-do list, backed with cardstock. More brown paper, another flip up with a piece of note paper, pretty daisies that I've glued onto cardstock. Other half of the bag, we have this pretty little tag. Book page. This is a whole doily. I just over the paged it. A tag that says "Love thy neighbor as thyself," that you can color, draw, whatever you want. On the other side, we have another alternate envelope. This one I did a slight goof on, if you'll notice. The clock faces are all facing up. The stamping is upside down. Well, this should learn me to not be in such a hurry. And it's empty also. Another little pocket with this journal card with some lace and fabric trim and an index card on the back. And a guest check with some vintage trim and stamping. Another paper bag, looks kind of like a tag. With this tag, some wide lace trim. Love God with all your might, mind, and strength. So you can color on that one. Another Hermelinda tag. With some pretty eyelash trim and green cord. Another pocket, some lace trim. In the back we have this journal card slash photo mat with all the flowers on there. And this journal card. Some lace trim at the top and it sparkles there. And turn along the back. The last page of the book and the last page of my book. Here's another of her cross-stitched pieces. So pretty. And then we have this recipe card. It's in there. And this journal card that I made with some coffee-dyed cardstock. Tea-dyed cardstock, excuse me. And then another of those images from the botanical book. Some lace trim. And it says thankful. And that is my latest. This will be for sale on my Facebook page, Pumpkin Cup Handmade. Thank you very much for listening, for watching, and liking and subscribing. I really do appreciate it. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.